Hello, Anicod here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to turn one of these into a little remote control toy you can use to blow helicopters out of the sky while you're sitting on the toilet. Now that's progress. Really simple. Obviously start by placing one of these things down. Then all you're going to need is a memory cell. This is going to be the heart and the brains of the operation. If you want to see a more in-depth video on the memory cell and what it can do, the video is in the cards now. Just remember to come back to this one. And once you've placed your memory cell, remember to put power in. Now I'm just going to cheat and use one of these generators. You'll probably just find a little small battery somewhere in a barrel. Now I'm going to put the inverted output into the input of the SAM site. It doesn't matter which output you use, and you'll see why very shortly. And that's genuinely the hardest bit done. Now what you're going to need to make it remote controlled is an RF receiver. This is what's going to receive the signal and then output a little bit of power once it receives the correct signal. The experienced ones amongst you will be able to see where I'm going with this. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to put this on your roof like a 1990s house in England. You can put this anywhere you want. It's going to receive the signal regardless. Make sure it's powered up obviously, and then the output of this, make sure you put it into the toggle of the memory cell, which is the bottom one. And obviously that'll toggle between the normal output and the inverted output. Next, make sure you set your frequencies to something only you know. Don't set it to 1 like I have. Remember, I'm just showing you the operation. And don't set it to your door code either. That's a very silly thing to do. Pick a brand new code and just remember what it is. Finally, you'll need an RF transmitter or a detonator or whatever you want to call them. I'm just going to call them an RF transmitter because that's the name. Make sure you set the frequency to the exact same frequency as your little receiver, in my case 1. And then standing next to the memory cell, every time we click, you can see that the memory cell changes its output from the inverted to the normal output. And obviously that means it's going to toggle the SAM site on and off. Remember to drop some rockets in your SAM site to keep it armed, and there's a little light on the back and you'll see that it lights up red or green, and I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs on this one. Now if you want notification that your SAM site's turned off and not doing what it's supposed to do, then you can use one of these things. This is an RF broadcaster, not a receiver, a broadcaster, which means it outputs a signal and not receives it. Make sure you put the spare output from the memory cell into the input of this, and make sure you set the frequency to a different frequency. Now I'm going to set it to the same one just so you can see what happens. And as you can see here, it stops the circuit working altogether. And that's purely because when the broadcaster receives power, it outputs a signal that the receiver picks up and it switches it back over to the other input. So it does absolutely nothing. You need to make sure that you set your broadcaster to a completely different frequency. I'm just going to set mine to 2. And then as you can see, we're back to normal and we're working fine. So I know what you're thinking, well, what does the broadcaster actually do? Well, for this, you're going to need a pager. The pager sits in your little pocket. If you were born in the 80s, you'll probably know what a pager is. You get a little buzz when you receive a signal. That's pretty much it. Now, what's happening is every time we turn the SAM on, it deactivates the broadcaster. Whenever we turn the SAM off, it activates the broadcaster, which lets us know by a pager that the SAM's turned off. And don't worry, you can mute your pager as well. You don't have to listen to a stupid beeping or a stupid vibrating. But it gives you a good indication to know if it's safe to return to base or not. Because remember, SAM sites will shoot you down whether you're authorised or not, if you're flying above them, obviously. So if you have got a little minicopter, you know you're returning to base, you or your little mate can get your dongle out, turn off your SAM site and return safely. As soon as you're back on your roof landed, you can turn it back on again. And there we go. Really simple. Now I've got a load of videos queued up, so if you do want to see more like this, I have got a trap-based video coming next from a request, so I'll get straight onto that for next week's video. But if you want to see more, feel free to drop a subscribe. It's completely free, it doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps me out tremendously. Drop a like if you like the video, and I know to make more content similar to this. And yeah, if you watched it this far, as usual, let me know you're a legend and I'll give you an Anicod heart in the comments. And there we go, another video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.